You've been misreading your dog every single night, and they've been trying to tell you something important every single time. Your dog chose your bed tonight, again. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you've always assumed you know why. It's warm, it's soft, you're there. But that explanation is missing the most critical part. What if the real reason your dog sleeps beside you is something your nervous system already understands, but your brain has never been taught to recognize? Because here's the thing. In the wild, sleep is the moment of greatest vulnerability. No animal chooses to sleep beside another animal unless it feels completely safe. And your dog, every single night, is making a biological choice about trust. The question isn't whether they love you. The question is, do you actually understand what they're trying to say? Stay with me. By the end of this video, you're going to see your dog's sleeping behavior in a completely different way. And you might just realize you've been reading the whole situation backwards. I get it. You've probably heard the other side of this conversation already. Someone, maybe a trainer, maybe a well-meaning friend, told you that letting your dog sleep in your bed creates behavioral problems, that you're confusing them about pack hierarchy, that you're teaching them to be dominant. And maybe you felt a little guilty about it, even though it felt completely natural to let them up. Here's what I want you to know right now. That guilt isn't yours to carry. The traditional dog training world spent decades building an entire theory of canine behavior around a concept that modern science has largely walked back. The idea that your dog is constantly calculating dominance, constantly testing your leadership, constantly trying to sleep their way to the top of a social hierarchy. It's not supported by how dogs actually work. And it left a lot of loving dog owners feeling like they were failing their pets for doing something that felt incredibly right. You weren't failing them. You were listening to something real. You just didn't have the language for it yet. And that's exactly what we're going to change right now. Here's what's actually happening when your dog chooses to sleep beside you. Dogs are not just physically present in your space at night. They are actively engaged in what researchers call physiological co-regulation. That's a technical phrase for something you've probably already felt without naming it. The way your breathing slows down when your dog settles in next to you. The way your shoulders drop. The way the noise inside your head gets a little quieter. That's not a coincidence. And it's not just comfort. It's biology. Studies measuring cortisol synchronization between dogs and their owners have shown something remarkable. Dogs don't just mirror their owners' stress levels during the day. They actively track them, and they respond to them during rest. Your dog's body is doing something at night that no amount of traditional obedience training can replicate. They are physically helping to regulate your nervous system while you sleep. This is the foundation of what we call the emotional sync method. It's the idea that the connection between you and your dog isn't just behavioral, it's biological. And the most visible expression of that biological connection happens not during training sessions or walks or play. It happens at 3 in the morning when the house is quiet and your dog is pressed against your leg. Now, think about this for a second. Have you ever noticed that on the night before a particularly stressful day, a big presentation, a difficult conversation, something you were quietly dreading, your dog didn't settle? They kept shifting. They watched you breathe. Maybe they kept getting up to check on you. That wasn't random behavior. Your dog was reading your cortisol levels the way you read a weather forecast. They knew something was coming because your nervous system was already broadcasting it. That's the emotional sync in action. And once you understand that it works both ways, that your nervous system is shaping your dog just as much as their presence shapes yours, a lot of things about their behavior start to make a lot more sense. If this resonates with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. Because we're just getting started. So let's get into the 4 things most dog owners completely misread. 4 ways your dog has been trying to tell you something, and you've been reading the wrong message. Pay attention, because one of them could be telling you something urgent right now. The first one. Your dog turns their back to you to sleep. Most owners take this personally. They think their dog is ignoring them or doesn't want to be close or is somehow rejecting the bond. Here's the reality. In the canine world, turning your back to another being is the highest expression of trust. It means your dog is not on alert. It means they're not watching the room for threats. It means they've decided that you have the situation handled and they can truly rest. When your dog gives you their back, they're not pulling away. They're leaning in, just in a language that looks different from the one we expect. The second one, your dog sighs loudly, circles 3 or 4 times, and then collapses into the mattress with their whole body. Owners often laugh at this or find it mildly annoying. But that ritual, the circling, the deep exhale, the full body landing, is a physical release of the day's accumulated tension. Your dog is actively regulating their nervous system before sleep, the same way you might take a few deep breaths or do a few gentle stretches. They're not being dramatic. They're doing exactly what their biology is designed to do. And here's the key insight. If your dog does this quickly and completely, it means their nervous system is healthy and regulated. If they circle endlessly without settling or can't seem to release the tension, that's information about what their days feel like. The third one. Your dog presses their body against yours. Full contact, not just nearby. This is not about temperature. Even in summer, dogs do this. What's happening here is a form of nervous system entrainment. Your dog's heartbeat and your heartbeat are literally influencing each other at the cellular level. Some researchers call it the nightly sync reset. That period in the early hours of sleep when your breathing patterns synchronize, your heart rates begin to align, and both nervous systems quietly calibrate to a shared baseline. This is one of the most powerful effects of the human-dog bond. And most people sleep right through it without ever knowing it's happening. But here's a question that doesn't get asked often enough. If your dog is doing all of this to help regulate you, what happens to them when your nervous system is dysregulated every single night? The answer is that they absorb it. They carry it into the next day, and that accumulated load shows up as the very behaviors most owners try to train away. The restlessness, the reactivity, the difficulty settling. Your dog isn't broken. They're reflecting something that starts with you. The fourth one, and this is the one I want you to take seriously, is when a dog who has always slept on the bed suddenly stops. Most owners read this as a preference. The dog just wants more space or got used to the floor. But that reading misses everything. A sudden, unexplained change in sleeping behavior is one of the clearest signals a dog can send. It could mean physical discomfort, joint pain, muscle soreness, something that makes the jump feel dangerous. Or it could mean there's something in the room that's created an association your dog hasn't been able to resolve. A new smell, a change in the environment, a shift in your emotional pattern that they're responding to. What looks like a preference is actually a message, and if you don't know how to read it, you'll wait it out while your dog keeps sending the same signal louder And this is where the picture gets complete. Most owners understand pieces of what we've just covered. They sense that something real is happening between them and their dog. Something that goes beyond sit, stay, come. What they're missing isn't knowledge. It's the framework that connects the pieces. Because the 4 behaviors we just went through aren't 4 separate things to manage. They're 4 windows into the same conversation your dog has been trying to have with you all along. What your dog does at night is connected to what happens between you during the day. The way you walk into a room when you're stressed. The way your breathing changes before an argument. The way you hold tension in your shoulders when something is wrong. Your dog reads all of it. All day, every day, and they carry it with them into sleep. The emotional sync method isn't a technique for nighttime. It's a complete framework for the entire relationship. A 5-element cycle of awareness, regulation, signal, reinforcement, and trust. And what your dog does at 3 in the morning is actually the result of everything that happened between you from the moment you woke up. They've been trying to tell you something this whole time. Now you have the language to finally hear it. If you want to understand the full picture, if you want to learn how to actually read your dog's signals during the day so that both of you can truly rest at night, we put the complete method into a guide called The Dog Who Understands You. It's 8 chapters built around the science of biological connection. You'll find the link in our community tab, in the video description, and in the pinned comment below. But if you want a first step right now, there's also a free checklist in the pinned comment and in the description. It's called the Emotional Sync Checklist. 10 things to check before every interaction with your dog. No email. Just click the link and download it. Put it somewhere you'll see it in the morning. Because the nightly sync reset your dog is offering you starts with how you show up the moment you open your eyes. Like this video, if something here shifted the way you see your dog. Share it with someone who lets their dog sleep on the bed and has no idea what's actually happening. And we'll see you in the next one.